What's up, everybody? Check out my book. Agitation gets the dirt out. You know why? Because agitation gets the dirt out. Like I tell people, I don't know all the answers, but I might say something that agitates you, and agitation is what gets the dirt out. Look, that's my other one. Check out. I'm gonna show you my other book cover. Hold up. This the other one. Same book, different cover. You see what's on the cover? A lion, a jackass, and a dog. That's because when people try to insult my intelligence, I tell them you're a lion-ass dog. So listen real quick. I was talking about what a post I put on Facebook, and I was saying, let's face it, you're going to live a lonely life because you can't find the perfect mate. And the reason a lot of people can't find the perfect mate is because they can't find what appeals to their imagination. Because what appeals to their imagination really don't exist. Our imagination has been distorted by the media, by what we see on TV and what we read in magazines about what the perfect person is. Nature doesn't create anything perfect. Nature doesn't create anything perfectly round, and nature doesn't create anything perfectly straight. You ever seen a perfectly straight tree? Look at them trees. You ever seen a perfectly straight tree? And the world is not perfectly round. The world has a warp in it. The world is oblong, like the human head. The world is not perfectly round, in spite of what you see in those models or those little globes that you see when you was in high school and shit like that. Remember you saw the little Earth and it was perfectly round? The Earth is not perfectly round like that. The Earth is oblong like the human head. It has a warp in it. You know what I'm saying? Nature doesn't create anything perfectly round, and nature doesn't create anything perfectly straight. See that tree? That tree is not perfectly straight. See? You'll never see a perfectly straight tree. See that? Humans create things perfectly straight like this. Humans create things perfectly round. Nature doesn't create anything perfectly round. And nature doesn't create anything perfectly square. See that? I mean, perfectly straight. But back to what I was saying is, like, there's no such thing as a perfect mate. You know, everybody has flaws. And like a friend always told me, he said you got to look for what you don't like in that person. Look for what you don't like in that person and ask yourself, can you tolerate it? Because whatever you don't like about that person, you can't tolerate. I mean, whatever you don't like about that person, you can't change it. So you got to look for what you don't like and ask yourself, can you tolerate it? And the good is going to come to the surface. I meet people, like growing up, you'd be like, oh, I don't like this about her. I don't like this about her. I like that, but I don't like. You can't change what you don't like about that person. You got to accept people where they are. Grown people don't change. After 6 years old, we are who we are. And our personality going to stay with us till the day we die. So like I told you, look for what you don't like about that person. Look for what you don't like about him and ask yourself, can you tolerate it? And then the good is going to come to the surface.